Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Myra. I am a mother of four, 2 boys, 2 girls, and a wife, of course, and I have a dog, Shih Tzu, 2 years old. This video is dedicated to talking about my 4-year-old son who was diagnosed in March as on the autism spectrum as moderate, and just how it was hard and still is hard to cope with. So about mid-March, I got called into an IEP for Mateo. He had gotten referred when he was 3 for speech because he had the speech delay. And so the speech therapist suggested I do through the public schools, they do a free in-home evaluation. So I set that up for him at the beginning of the last school year, which was 2016. August of 2016 is when I called about it. And so we got him in September, and it was hard. He really wasn't, the speech therapist from the school wasn't really interacting with him. And so she said, well, let's try it with the Spanish interpreter. Okay, so we tried it with the Spanish interpreter, and December that didn't work. They brought us back in January. It was the speech therapist and the psychologist, and so they evaluated there. The psychologist said, I think he may have a little bit of the autism symptoms. I want to reevaluate him with another psychologist. So I said, okay, why not? So they reevaluated him again in February of this year, of 2017. And then they called me back into the school in March. It was about the 10th, the 12th, around there. And that's when they told me, well, your son is on the Autism Spectrum Disorder. And it depends, there's different kinds of severities. And, that's why it's a spectrum. And he's placed on the moderate one. To people that he doesn't know, he will not look you in the eye. It's rare. But I was in complete disbelief. I did not want to believe it. See, he hit all his milestones until he was doing really good. He was hitting all his milestones. He was, doing the sound, saying some words until June of 2014. Yeah, because he was born April 2013, and then he was a year and a month old when he had to get tubes placed because he kept getting ear infections. So after they did his surgery, I remember they told me, they came and talked to me. They said, well, one of his eardrums was still red, but we went ahead and placed the tube anyways. So he came home and everything, and then we just noticed he went completely mute. He wasn't trying to say anything. He wasn't trying to say any sounds, nothing. He was completely mute for about a year and a half. Until we got him referred into a speech therapist. And he was about 3 when he finally got in to see a speech therapist. And then that's when they did, referred us to the public school in-home evaluation. And we kind of went through those steps. And then at the beginning of this year is when they called me in. They did an IEP and they set up a plan. That was about March 10th. I'm pretty sure it was that day, if not close around there. We went in, did an IEP. They set him up for school right away. He started school on April 5th of this year. So it was really hard. It's still really hard. I feel like I was in complete denial, and I just didn't want to accept it, and I wanted more opinions, a second opinion, a third opinion, because when you're pregnant, you're expecting, even if you don't want to accept it, you plan out this whole life for your kids. They're gonna grow up, they're gonna go to school, be doctors, whatever. They're gonna be successful, and they're gonna go out and be on their own. But when you get something like this, a diagnosis like this, it's so hard, and you just wonder. And that's my biggest thing. It's like I sit there and I wonder, what kind of life is he gonna have? Is he gonna talk? Is he gonna have full speech one day, like I'm talking here to you guys? you know, what kind of, if it scares the crap out of me that he will have to face any discriminations, you know, I don't care what people say. He's my baby. I'm gonna fight for him, and I'm gonna make sure that he is successful and that I'm doing everything that I can for him to be successful. But I don't want you guys, if you get a recent, you know, autism diagnosis, to feel bad because you mourned the child that you thought, you know, you mourning the loss of a child, pretty much. It's kind of, I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but you mourn the loss of this child that you had made the, you know, the idea that you had or were going to have. Because now I feel like we're working on potty training him. He's scared to death. I'll try to put some clips in here when I edit the video. He is a sweetheart. I love him. He has taught me so much in such a small amount of time. It's insane. But I want you guys, any moms that have a new, you know, recent diagnosis, to not feel bad about having a hard time with this diagnosis, because it is hard. It's hard, and don't let anyone make you feel like your feelings are not valid. It's okay. I feel like, okay, you mourn that loss of the child that you thought you were going to have, but then you go on and you see this child flourish into, you know, he's growing up, he's starting to be, you know, he's starting to talk so much now. His teachers emailed me just yesterday and was like, I bet you Mateo is talking up a storm at home, because he is just talking away and he is participating, and it's just kind of that validation that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that I'm, you know, that I have him in the right place, that he's getting the help he needs to be successful, to be able to live what, you know, as closest to a normal life as possible. But yeah, Mateo, he is in school part-time in the afternoons. He does ride the bus to school, which he loves. I think that's his favorite part. And then he sees a speech therapist. He just started seeing a speech therapist once a week, and I get to meet with her tomorrow. They do an evaluation. It's like a 2-step process where they sit there, they ask him questions, they kind of interact with him and see kind of where we're going to start with, what do we have, and what Miss Alyssa kind of made me feel like he is not too far behind. But like I said, it was really hard. At the beginning, I cried every day, and I would hug him and I would cry, and I'm like, what kind of life is he going to have? Is he ever going to be independent? Is he ever going to talk to me? You know, it's been a really rough road, but, and I feel like I was judged at the beginning for sure, because I'm crying and I'm like, what am I going to do? Oh my God, why me? Why my child? Why? So I just kind of it's a day-by-day thing. Sometimes he has good days, he has bad days, he has his what's it called, moments, his phases, where right now he is super attached to grandma, to my mom, and he's attached at her hip. He does not care for a lot for my husband or me, but my mom wasn't feeling too well. I think she was coming down with the cold or something, and she definitely feels, this is for another video, but I don't know if you guys have watched my other 2 videos. This is probably my 3rd one. Anxiety and depression goes deep in our family. My dad did pass away when I was 7, so that's almost 20 years ago. But I'll leave that for another time. This is just for, this video is specifically for any moms who have a recent diagnosis, or I don't know, maybe your child got diagnosed a long time ago, but you still have these feelings. I don't do the mommy shaming. I'm not into that. I feel like you have the right to feel what you feel, but then at the same time, you need to get up, get over it, and keep fighting for your child. Get him the services that he needs. Fight for what he needs. And that's all we can do. And pray. I am I won't say I'm a devoted Catholic, but I was raised in the Catholic faith, so I do believe in God, and I pray a lot. So even though I don't go to church a lot because of my, my autistic child and then my 1-year-old. Something I almost forgot to mention is, see, Mateo isn't huge on the sensory things. He doesn't, freak out with touch. He can take a shower. He can wear clothes. He did have a period where he would always take his pants off. For whatever reason, I would finish changing him. We gotta go. And no, he decides to take his pants off. So that's fine. Whatever he got, he's over it right now. It was kind of in the summer. But the biggest thing that you're like, yeah, he's definitely autistic, is he's such a picky eater. When it comes to food, the textures and the flavors, that's where he qualifies more as on the moderate side, because he won't eat a large amount of, big variety of foods. Him and his McDonald's fries every single day. Mom, McDonald's fries. Mom, McDonald's fries. He loves the McDonald's fries. And yeah, we get him large or medium, whatever size you get him, he finishes, and sometimes he'll even eat up to 2 cartons of either medium or largest. But his teacher said he was doing better about trying foods at school. They're just here where we live. They're not great. They're actually, when we've had family fun day, I don't even. So I would get it if my kid, and usually he eats breakfast before, he eats breakfast or brunch before he goes to school, because he doesn't leave till about 12:35, 12:40, because school starts at 1:05 for him, 1:05 to 4:05. So again, if you guys have any resources, any tips, I feel like to me still this diagnosis is pretty new. I am definitely not a pro. I want to learn more, and just if you guys have any tips, advice, comments, I'll put my email in the description box, and also I will put the links to my 2 kids, the oldest ones. They want to be YouTubers, and they have some pretty cool content in their channels, and I'll try to put those below here in the description box, so you guys can go and subscribe and kind of see what our family is like. And my kids and their personalities are kind of all over the place, so it's pretty fun to watch. I feel like it. Again, you're not alone. We're, as mothers and mothers of special needs, or what we call invisible special needs, most of the time people will be like, oh, he looks normal and stuff like that. Don't feel mad. Just just focus on you and your child. Everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. Alrighty, so I'll see you guys in my next channel. Thank you. Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This is our life. This is Keeping Up with the Diaz's here in Nebraska. Alrighty, see you guys soon. Keep watching for a clip of Mateo practicing his ABCs.
Which one?
Is that Thomas?
Mom, Thomas is
Yeah. Thomas and friends.
Mom, kids.
Annie. That's Annie.
A car. A dog.
And then
Dog.
what is that? That's a
Dog.
dog. Yes.
Woof,
Yes.
woof.
Woof woof.
I did this.
That's Emily. Emily.
And Mimi. I'm going.
Gordon.
I apple.
Yeah, sure. Helicopter.
A kite.
Kite.
Mom. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Mom. Mom.
Oh, he spilled his ice cream.
Come here.
Oh no.
My blue.
Pink.
White.
That's a blue ice cream. That's white, correct. That's
White.
pink. It's probably strawberry.
White.
And white ice cream. It's vanilla ice cream. James.
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 Okay, kite.
Kite.